out. Now they want Strickland. They want heads to roll. I don't enjoy this. I don't like this, and it's bad, and it's toxic, and you don't look good when you're doing it.
The Sports Blitz.
Live and local, weekdays, 4 to 6.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good afternoon. This is Joanna with your latest forecast on ESPN Northwest Florida. The remainder of the day, partly cloudy and a temperature of 60 with wind 15 to 20 miles per hour out of the north. Mostly clear skies tonight, a brisk wind and cool near 43. Sunny and 57 tomorrow. 66 and sunshine with a gentle breeze Wednesday. Thursday, sunshine and a temperature about the same at 63. This is your Monday's weather brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for keeping that dial on ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Toyotathon is on at Panama City Toyota, where you can get 1.99% APR on a new Camry and get $500 in holiday cash. Get 3.49% APR on a new Corolla and get $500 in holiday cash. Get 1.99% on a new Tacoma, plus $1,000 in holiday cash. And 1.99% on a new Tundra, plus you'll get $1,000 in holiday cash. Shake up your holidays at Toyotathon.
Offers expire January 5th. Visit PanamaCityToyota.com for details.
Los Rancheros has been doing it right for 20 years. Los Rancheros brings a top-shelf dining experience to you with the opening of their beautiful new building. Watch all college and pro games on Los Rancheros' 14 large-screen TVs with great drink specials daily from 2 to 5 and during all the games. Los Rancheros, the place for live sports and great food on 23rd Street between Jenks and Harrison.
When it comes to backyard dreams, trust the name that's been making waves for over 65 years. Cox Pools. Serving the entire Florida Panhandle, Cox Pools brings experience, innovation, and quality to every custom pool design. From luxurious spas to resort-style pools, no vision is too big. Make your backyard the place to be with Cox Pools. Cox Pools, 65 years strong and still making a splash. Visit CoxPools.com or call 850-235-7957.
For a limited time, Krispy Kreme Donuts presents the Charlie Brown and Peanuts Christmas Donut Collection. Including Snoopy cookies and cream donut, Charlie Brown ornament donut, Christmas wreath donut, and 2 returning treats. All available now through December 24th at Krispy Kreme Donuts in front of HCA Hospital, 23rd Street, Panama City, and the Ross Clark Circle in Dothan. Krispy Kreme Donuts, since 1937, where you get 'em hot.
Are you looking for a place to take a leak? Do you have a truck, tractor, or other hydraulic equipment leaking or not performing as it should? At Reliable Hydraulic Solutions, we can get you back to work. Do you have a busted or leaking hose? We can typically replace them while you wait. Hydraulic cylinder or pump needing repair? In many cases, we can have it back to you the next day. Reliable Hydraulic Solutions, 6840 Highway 77 in Southport, just south of Tractor Supply. The best place in town to take a leak.
Hi folks, it's Tracy from Tracy's Fine Jewelry. Santa called and he asked me to help everyone get ready for Christmas and avoid the stress and rush. So we've stocked the store with all of our favorite pieces of gold jewelry, chains, bracelets, pendants, and earrings. Whatever you're looking for, Tracy's Fine Jewelry has the largest selection and the best prices in town. Looking for a curb chain for Dad? Tracy's has it. A gold cross for your sister? Tracy's has it. Even those white gold hoop earrings, yep, that's right folks, Tracy's has it. So shop where Santa shops. Tracy's Fine Jewelry inside Coin and Bullion Reserves.
WGSX Lynn Haven, WVLQ Port St. Joe. Powered by Panama City Toyota, ESPN Northwest Florida. And now, the Gulf Coast's newest sports talk host.
Hey, there's the new guy.
Paul Wilson.
That is not winning football.
Paul is your pipeline to the heart of the action.
The defense can only play this good for so long.
Hot takes, big reactions, and your calls are incoming.
This week, it's really going to be crucial.
The Sports Blitz.
They're playing championship football.
The new Sports Blitz.
You can say what you want.
On 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
It
is. It's 4 o'clock on a Monday. You're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson here. 104.3 ESPN, Northwest Florida. We are so glad that you've decided to join us today. We are excited as well. If you want to be a part of the show, you can be. All you got to do is call in, text in on the Red 7T's phone line, 850-215-6290. I'm sure Jeffrey's going to say something that's going to irritate you today. But either way, we're so glad that you're here. And as always on a Monday, we got Coach Brian Haddad in the building. Brian, how you doing?
I'd be better if Dale Murphy were in the Hall of Fame, but we'll deal with that another time.
I understand. And as always on a Monday, wearing his Saints jersey because the Saints are in the win column yesterday. Jeffrey, how you doing, Jeffrey?
I'm doing good and all that. I'm happy, man.
I bet you are.
Yeah, it's not just the Saints now. No, it's the whole college football. That I loved it. I loved every bit of it.
Well, we're going to talk about it. And as always on a Monday, Jam and Jimmy in there. Glass Bubble, what's up, buddy? How are you?
Having a great weekend. The Titans won, and I just really don't know how to feel about that.
Exactly.
Wow, the Titans. Wow.
Exactly.
We will definitely get there eventually. Probably not today, but on a Thursday, probably.
They can't even lose right.
That is true. It's pretty crazy. All right, guys. College Football Playoff Committee.
Oh, did something happen this weekend?
College Football Playoff Committee, public enemy number one. For sure. There's a lot of people that are hating on this committee. And
there'd be more people if they'd left Miami out, though.
You think so?
Absolutely, 100%.
I don't think so. I know the Miami's fans are definitely loud, obnoxious, just like everybody else's. But Notre Dame fans, they feel like they are wronged. And I'm seeing it. I know we're in Florida.
No,
I'm talking about nationwide.
I think you're minimizing the national hate for Notre Dame.
I know
it's at Alabama level.
I know that they hate them, but it's bad. It's very bad.
Well, easily both of these teams, the schools, are top 10 hated.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, those three are probably
and Alabama.
top 5.
Well, yeah,
Miami, Alabama, Notre Dame are probably top 5.
Alabama's probably top 10 too.
Alabama's probably top 5 for sure in other circles.
Nationally?
Well, Georgia people really hate Bama.
Yeah.
I think that's like a whole, and then it's the volunteer fans. Yeah, we know about that.
And Auburn also.
Florida State.
Yeah, I guess so.
Ohio State fans don't like Alabama.
I mean, nobody likes Alabama.
I mean, look,
I do.
Florida State's got to hate the Gators and the Hurricanes before they
Florida State hates them because of 2 years ago. Playoff.
Keeping them out. Yeah.
Well, Christopher Multiconte, I want to hear what he said. He said, here we are. Jeffrey is officially rooting for Miami in the playoffs.
Nice. I do not have a side team.
That's right. So Jeffrey's got a side team. I believe we've got a caller on the line.
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's take our caller here. What's going on, Eddie? How are you, buddy? We got the caller?
Eddie, you there? You're still on the line, Eddie. Say something. If not, call us back, man.
No heavy breathing.
All right. So we'll get back with him in a minute. Let him call again.
Here's the thing. Even a lot of the people who are mad at the committee, I think, honestly, a lot of them think they got it right. I think the problem everybody has with the committee is the fact that we keep doing this stupid TV show for 6 weeks that's pointless. And the way that Notre Dame had been held ahead of Miami. And it was a pretty poor argument by Yurachek, honestly, when Reese Davis pressed him off. That's what people seem to be upset about, is that Notre Dame kind of got strung along and then neither team did anything and all of a sudden you're going to change your mind. I think it's more process than result that what people are so furious about. And to be perfectly honest, they're not wrong.
You know, this is not the only time we've been strung along. Lane Kiffin did it.
Very true. This is the first story about actual football that's taken precedent over coaching.
Let me throw just a quick thing in there. This is unique, too, and don't think this is not going to become a worse issue. There's 12 teams in the playoffs, right?
Yeah.
Only 9 of them will have, and one of them doesn't have it even now. But 3 of the teams in the playoff right now will not have that coach next year.
Yeah, true.
Tulane, James Madison, and Ole Miss.
Yeah.
And when you look at how it all came together, I agree with you. I think it needs to happen as far as letting them pick the the top 25 at a certain part of the year, but maybe take a pause after that for the next 2 or 3 weeks and then come back again and then do it like that. Because what happened, and which is what we talked about, who was the team that we were up in arms about that got back into the top 25 so quick and so quickly was Notre Dame. And it was like they pushed them.
They were 0-2, and they were like, what, 23?
They went.
Well, it's the oldest rule of college football. If you're going to lose early. I mean, that's as old as time.
Oh, yeah.
True. The problem is, look, college basketball does a selection show. Joe Lunardi does his thing and all this, but none of that's official. And he's not part of the selection committee, any of that kind of stuff. He's just guessing. You can do your thing like that with football. There's no need to do this show. There's no need to do playoff rankings for 6 weeks. All you do is tie your hands behind your back and put yourself in bad positions for stuff like what just happened in Notre Dame to happen.
Yeah, but they tied their hands 2 other ways, though. Number one, talking about head-to-head.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's been forever. We've been doing that for 50 years, right?
Yeah.
And then the other one was saying playing the extra game, which is a conference championship for Bama.
Didn't matter.
It didn't. It's like, it can't hurt you.
Yeah.
It can't hurt you. Well, guess what? It didn't really hurt BYU. You know why? Because they were 11, and there's going to be an automatic seed in there.
Right.
Regardless.
Yeah, they were.
So don't even talk about BYU.
They don't even need to be mentioned.
They didn't get hurt by the whole playing an extra game. But actually, it would have helped them, if anything, because, they would have moved into the top 10 had they beaten Texas.
It
Texas
wouldn't
Tech.
hurt you, but it definitely could help you. We are going to go ahead and go to the Red 17's phone line. We've got Eddie on the phone. Go ahead, Eddie. How you doing, buddy?
Hey, wow, that was fast. Oh, okay, cool. Okay. Wow. They didn't even say hello or anything. Hey,
We're
all
quick
right.
here. We got the stuff going. What's going
Hey,
on?
y'all don't mess around. Okay, all right. I'm a little impressed. But honestly, man, hey, I didn't watch a lot of the college games, but I'm going to say something controversial maybe for y'all. Take it or leave it, if that's okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
I didn't watch a lot of the football games this week, but I did watch some MLS soccer with Messi and all them. I don't know if y'all know about soccer. If you don't understand it, it's okay.
Yeah, I mean, you kick the ball into the net. I know that.
He plays for Miami.
So I was like, I know it's not popular in the United States. It's not a very popular sport, but I was like, you know what? It's very popular in other places around the world. And it got me thinking. I was like, you know what? I've been to Europe before, and American football isn't very popular out there in those other countries. But I will say this. I saw rugby live.
Mm-hmm.
And I told myself, you know what? And I'm no pro at this. I'm no expert. But I told myself, I don't think a lot of American NFL players could hack being rugby players. Physically, just the game goes on and on. No, not a lot of breaks. Very in your face.
I mean, I'm gonna disagree with you.
Pads.
I'll disagree with you because I think the way the American game is played, they've played that way all the way through. I think just like anything else, they would adapt and they would be the best at it. They're the number one athletes in the world.
You would train differently.
Yeah, there would be a difference of their diet would be different and the way they tackle and all that. But to, I'm gonna push back on you with that one just a little bit to think that those guys couldn't. Be rugby players and be really good at it, I'm gonna disagree. They're the best athletes in the world for a reason. That's why they're making the most money.
I think a lot of NFL players can switch into rugby, like all of your tight ends, your linebackers, your cornerbacks, your wide receivers. The guys that'll have a hard time going into rugby are going to be your linemen.
Yeah.
They're not used to just running those long distances and to keep on running those long distances. But any of the other guys, I think they can do fairly well.
Yeah, they could.
So do y'all truly believe that NFL players are the most fittest athletic players in all of sports? And I'm talking about the whole country, in the United States and the world. Are NFL players the most athletic?
Not aerobically. Athleticism, every sport's going to have a few people that stand out. So, yes, some of the best athletes in the world would be there. But like aerobic development, no. Ability for insane contact and to continue playing, they might be as good as anybody in the world.
But also you got to think about the offensive linemen. I know we give them, we call them whatever.
They might be the best conditioned athletes in football.
Because they'll be 6'6", 6'7", 320, 330, 315. They stay in the whole game, and then you might switch a outside backer on that defensive end, and he might be giving up about 75 to 100 pounds, and he's still got to get back and block him, and he might not get to the quarterback. So I don't know. I think yes. I say yes. I know they say no. I say yes.
So in all of our sports, our major four sports, the most longevity, the most longest career in all four is what? Baseball?
Some of those hockey players can go forever.
Yeah, baseball.
Hockey or baseball? I think it could be one or the other. Correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that was my 2-minute talk right there about just a little controversy. I didn't get to watch a lot of games, but I'm going to ask y'all last question, then I'm going to hang up. But what was y'all's favorite game of this weekend, by the way? I'd like to hear about it.
Game?
Y'all have a good one. I'm going to listen back.
All right, buddy. Thank you, man. Appreciate the call, Ed.
As far as excitement at the end, it was Duke, Virginia.
Sure.
And I stayed up for that.
Yeah, that was a good game.
Yeah, because it came down to the wire. It wasn't that boring Indiana-Ohio State game. I'm sorry. They were saying that game was great, but that game was not great.
No, it wasn't very crisp. It was a little tentative in my mind. I thought Indiana's defense really stood out. I thought they played well. That was probably the game I enjoyed the most, just because I thought it was such an interesting back and forth, and what it meant for Indiana to have a chance to win that game, or will Ohio State kind of complete that journey of actually trying to go get an undefeated national championship. It was interesting to me.
Here's the craziest part. I would say the most interesting first half was actually James Madison Troy.
Yeah.
That was an interesting
a lot
first
tighter
half.
than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
And then Troy kind of just fumbled the game away. I mean, they just gave it away.
I'm going to read one of our Facebook followers. Chris Steffen said, I would like to have 2 tournaments, and if you win the Tier 2 tournament in college football, no matter what happens the next year, you are in the Tier 1 tournament.
Relegation and promotion, baby.
No, then you'll have Cincinnati and TCU keep on going back every other year. Well, they'll be back and forth,
and you know how what Florida State's doing this year, where every year they've got a turnover of all these NIL or transfers that they get in every year. So you're going to have a different team every year.
That's the problem from one year to the next, is it would be completely a different team. So
Well, we're going to go ahead and go back to the phone lines. We've got Eddie on the phone. How you doing, Eddie?
Go with Truck Series Reserve. We're going to back Kittle. If it ain't more obvious,
Eddie?
Yeah.
If it ain't more obvious, it's right in our faces now how sports is rigged. It is rigged. Did you watch the Raiders-Broncos game yesterday?
Yes.
Oh, boy.
Yes.
How they kicked the field goal with 4 seconds left. There's not even enough time to kick a 45-yard field goal and get an onside kick in 3 to 4 seconds.
Nope.
And what was the spread? 8.5?
Yes.
Why don't you want Roger Goodell to hit his spread? What have you got against Roger Goodell hitting that point spread?
No, and then I need to talk to General Clark, fellow B1 guy, Academy grad, and all that. He was my wing commander back at Randolph, and he's like the head of the CFP, whatever. He's not the head of the selection, but he's the head of the whole thing, right? He's a new John Hancock. I need to talk to him and knock some sense into him, because this is a travesty of what they're doing in college football. It is a mess. And now I mean, Notre Dame was ranked ahead of Miami. You go, I can't say Notre Dame was a stuck-up snob, but anyway, they're ranked, and then all of a sudden yesterday, now Miami's better. Give me a break, and now they're not playing a bowl game because they're too good, and Kansas State's not, Iowa State's not. You know what I feel bad for?
Coaches.
And I know. I don't care about that. You know what I care about? I care about those seniors who will never play college football again, and because of some stupid pride, they're not going to play, and not all of them are going to go to the league. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So now they're missing out on a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to go play in a bowl game. And you want to know something? Coach Schembechler used to say, the last true team you'll play on is in college. Well, screw that. Now the last real team you're going to play on is high school. Yeah. Until they screwed that up, too, with the NIL up in Georgia and Florida and all that crap.
See, Eddie, I don't think the problem with what the CFP did was what they did yesterday. I think the problem with the CFP is what they've been trying to do for 6 weeks. It is
you're right.
Pointless nonsense entertainment show where they try and create storylines and they try and create justifications for things that are not complete. They shouldn't do it. Yesterday's show should have been the first show and only show of the CFP, and you wouldn't have near the issues you're having right now.
You are absolutely right. That was my next point. I love you, brother. You're my bartender at the PCB hobby.
That's right.
Anyway, here's the thing. It's all about the four-letter and the money and all that. The four-letter used to be the best thing to have in sports. Now it's the worst thing for sports. And even Kirk Herbstreit even said as much yesterday. You know, that all this ranking is fluff. It's a grift.
Yeah.
It's a grift.
Yeah. They need to come out with the first one and then give it the weeks off because you gotta have some type of, you can't just keep going with the AP. I don't think the AP is going to give us exactly because the AP has got, there's a bunch of opinionated people that I just don't. I think they got to come out with one and then come out at the end. Just one to get us to the last.
Dude, it's bad enough the four-letter gives us Dan Orlowski, who took the Lions to an 0-16 season and stepped out the back of the end zone against the Vikings for crying out loud.
He'll never
and we got to listen to
down.
him.
The ultimate consistency, 0-16.
I'm just like, but I just had to say that, man. I mean, it's just money and greed is just ruining sports and all that. And you know, if the Lord blesses my children to go on and play college athletics and all that, I don't know if I want that for them anymore because it's not what it used to be. It's terrible.
Yeah, very true.
And then people I'm listening to the natives up on 97.1 The Ticket up in Detroit about how they're saying the rivalry's gone, Michigan State week and all that. Well, look at how many actual kids from Michigan are on their rosters with the transfer portal and all. They didn't grow up with the rivalry. Look at Alabama and Auburn. They didn't grow up in the Iron Bowl. They don't know what the real story is behind it unless you've lived it all your life and you were raised in it. College football is a mess. It's a glorified NFL, and the adults that are in charge should be ashamed of themselves. Utterly ashamed.
Yeah, we appreciate that for sure, Eddie, because that's, I think a lot of people feel that way.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even care about college football anymore. And for me to say that, Brian, you know I'm really upset.
That's true.
Well, we appreciate the call, Eddie, for sure. Don't be a stranger, my friend.
Yeah, take care of Global Trucks. Oh, yeah, can I say one more thing?
Yeah, go ahead.
The last true student athletes in college are those at the military academies. They play for each other. They play for the cadet wing, or they play for the fellow cadets, and they play for the love of the country, the love of the school, and they don't get no NIL. That's the last true student athlete is the Air Force Academy, Old Hudson High, Annapolis, Coast Guard Academy, and all that. And by the way, go Air Force. By the way, I don't give a dang about Army, Navy. They both stink. I'm out. See ya.
I appreciate that.
That's a true Air Force man there.
But you know, when you look at all of these things that are being said, everybody's got, you know, there's truth in everything that everybody's saying, from the Notre Dame fans to the Miami fans to the Alabama fans. It's all spread out. The problem is that college football, the way that it's set up right now, the formula that we don't even really know what it is, they just come out with something and give us, oh, well, head-to-head doesn't matter back 2 weeks ago, but it matters now. Or the totality of their schedule. Well, when they lost, it was in the beginning. Or, yes, we got 10 games straight where Notre Dame, you know, won. Who cares if they beat nobodies, right? And then you got, well, they played USC, who was this in the Big Ten. So there's just so much of that stuff. I want to say something real quick about what we were talking about before the last caller, and it was about the game of the weekend that you guys thought. Let me ask you this. Did it not feel like to you, watching the game of Indiana and Ohio State, that it was very vanilla? That there wasn't...
I felt tentative.
I felt very like it was not one of those Alabama-Georgia games that push-pull, couldn't get it done. I think it was very vanilla. I do not believe, like I said in the weeks before, that Ohio State really was like, had to win. I think they were like, okay, we can win, but then Indiana, to me, they still had something more to prove, to the point to where I believe they took more chances than Ohio State. I think it was vanilla.
Here's what I think. I think both teams played incredibly hard. I believe that. I don't think either team, more so Ohio State, but I don't think either team threw everything they had against the wall.
Absolutely
because there is more to play for now. So, yes, it is different than it would have been, and it's even different than it would have been if you were going into a 4-team playoff with less round or whatever. It was different because it was unnecessary. It was an unnecessary game.
It was.
It was important. It was big to both schools. They do still want to be Big Ten champions, but it wasn't necessary.
Right.
And that was the difference in a lot of those games. Like, I thought it was a much better ACC game because that game was completely necessary.
Yeah.
Like, it was, I don't know, but I thought both teams played hard. I don't believe any of them held back. I do think that both offensive coordinators certainly held a few things back.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
And I don't know if we get that in 3 years ago, 5 years ago.
No. We're going to have to take our next break. And when we come back, we're going to discuss more of this because I've got some big-time questions I need to ask these guys. You're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Call or text him now on the Red 7T studio line. 850-215-6290. Weather in the Panhandle never stops. Turn to 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
This is Joanna with your latest forecast.
Up to the minute weather reports all day long.
A chance of thunderstorms and moderate rain.
In-depth storm coverage.
Winter Storm Enzo.
And breaking weather as it happens.
Hurricane Helene.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
We do have a tropical storm warning.
Rely on it.
Good afternoon. This is Joanna with your latest forecast on ESPN Northwest Florida. The remainder of the day, partly cloudy and a temperature of 60 with wind 15 to 20 miles per hour out of the north. Mostly clear skies tonight, a brisk wind and cool near 43. Sunny and 57 tomorrow. 66 and sunshine with a gentle breeze Wednesday. Thursday, sunshine and a temperature about the same at 63. This is your Monday's weather brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for keeping that dial on ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Looking for dependable civil construction in the Florida Panhandle? CBC Construction has you covered. From land clearing and drainage to roads and underground utilities, CBC delivers high-quality work on time and on budget. Locally owned and operated, CBC is trusted by schools, developers, and municipalities. To learn more, call CBC Construction 850-740-3815 or visit cbcconstruction.com. That's cbcconstruction.com.
Looking to upgrade your truck? It's Blue Diamond Truck Accessories in Panama City. They sell, service, and install it all. Light kits, bed covers, bumpers, winches, lift kits, and any trailer hitch you can imagine. Blue Diamond Truck Accessories, just west of Frankfort Avenue on 15th Street. Find Blue Diamond Truck Accessories on Facebook or call 850-914-0265. Blue Diamond Truck Accessories, 850-914-0265.
The Gator Boys are back.
Florida will cut down the nets. Winners of the national championship.
And ready to defend their national title.
Correct. Layup good and one. Off the rim. Alley-oop dunk. Smashed down by Condon. Oh, yes, sir. Gets the foul line extended. Rises for three. Bang, he got it to the rack. Dumps it with two hands.
On your home for Florida basketball.
Tomorrow, it's the Gators versus UConn. Tip-off at 8, right here on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
The Sports Blitz. 100% live and local from the CBC Construction Studios. This is the Sports Blitz, where we don't have guests. We have punching bags. The Sports Blitz. On 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Welcome back. You're listening to the Sports Blitz here at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. We are live, local, and worldwide right here in your CBC Construction Studio in beautiful Panama City Beach, Florida. We finally do have some sunshine to be excited about. The last couple of days been a lot of rain here. So either way, we're happy and excited about that. Don't forget, if you want to be a part of the show, you can be. You can call in at 850-215-6290. We're going to the phone lines. We've got our buddy from the RebelWalk.com, Steve Barnes, on the phone line. Steve, how you doing today, my friend?
Feeling a tad nostalgic, man. I tell you, I remember back in the first grade having our little Christmas party and everybody talking about what they want Santa Claus to bring. I was talking about bowl games.
In the first grade, that's awesome.
Yeah.
And what I really, really wanted to see was Pat Sullivan at Auburn go against Archie Manning at Ole Miss in the Gator Bowl, but it wasn't going to happen because Archie Manning had broken his arm on homecoming against Houston, so it wasn't going to happen. Archie Manning went to the doctors and had them rig up a splint so he could play in the Gator Bowl with a broken arm. And now we have teams sitting out bowl games because they're just, had their feelings hurt.
Yeah.
Feeling a little nostalgic.
Yeah, so that's how it works nowadays, and we've started seeing that several years back when they started allowing the kids to opt out of the bowl games, and it like one of our callers just said earlier, those seniors, those guys that are there that are not going to be able to move on, that are not playing to be rich, but they're playing because they love the game and they're real student athletes. Those guys get left out of the group because they can't play their last football game.
I can understand what some of these teams do. I mean, Auburn, they don't know who's going. They don't know. I mean, they got a coach now, but they don't have a staff. How could they really put together a team?
Correct.
But Florida State, why wouldn't you want the extra 15 practices?
Oh, my God, yes.
Yeah.
UCF,
Rutgers.
Scott Frost isn't going anywhere. Yeah. Why wouldn't you want those extra practices to get better for next year? I just don't understand that.
Yeah, it doesn't make a lot of sense because you can also get your early enrollees to get in there to do some scout team stuff and all of that. So that's really, honestly, I think it's a bad choice for these guys to do, as well. So, I mean, I just don't get it. I mean, I know we're in a different era, different time frame now, but yeah, and if you want to let the ones that want to get out of the game opt out because they don't want to mess up their NFL career, or they feel like they can have a better option to go train with somebody in California or Florida, wherever they're going, and opt out, fine. Who cares?
Now, Pete Golden had his first media availability really yesterday since he got hired, and he was actually asked, what's your roster availability for the playoffs? And he was like, what are you talking about? He said, these guys came in here and worked their butts off all year long to get to this point. If they don't want to play now, I don't want them in my locker room. Yep. And I'm telling them to go ahead and go. Not one kid said, yeah, I think I'm going to opt out.
No. I mean, and they feel like they have an opportunity. I mean, they've got Tulane, then they got opportunity to play Georgia, and then if they beat Georgia, I mean, they're in the driver's seat right there because then
actually, I think that they have the roughest road because you get two rematches. It's really hard to beat a team twice.
It was 45-10.
Alabama Saturday.
You killed them 45-10. You're just playing in the same building. Tulane is going to get waxed.
Yes.
They're going to lose by 20 or more points. Easy.
I'm not sure if they're going to get waxed. I think Ole Miss is going to win. But then you got to play Georgia. How happy is the Sugar Bowl right now? Okay. You either get Georgia and Ole Miss, or you get Georgia and the hometown team.
Yeah.
The Sugar Bowl has the biggest smile on their faces right now. Oh, Lord. I mean, if they died right now, it'd take like 5 days to probably smile off their faces.
Hey Steve.
Now, the team that's got the easiest road to me is Oregon.
Yes.
They didn't have to play last week in the championship game of the Big Ten. They get the week off. Then they get James Madison at home. Then they will get Texas Tech.
Yep.
That's a pretty good little matchup. And Texas Tech could be a little rusty because they got a little time off.
Won't matter. Oregon will stomp them.
Don't be so.
That's going to be a great game to watch.
I'm telling you.
And after that, Oregon would get Indiana again in a rematch. It's hard to beat a team twice in the same season. Ask Alabama last week.
Yep.
I think Oregon has a really good shot to get there.
And to be honest, they'll probably play them on the West Coast.
Yeah.
I could see that being the game in the Rose Bowl.
It's definitely going to be the easiest route because, with the way Texas Tech played BYU, if we value BYU, yes. Because Texas Tech and BYU, to me, I didn't love it. I didn't love it. I'm not saying they're not good. I'm not saying they don't deserve their ranking. I'm not saying any of that. But I don't think they are the fourth best team in the country. There you go. I said it.
Well, I'll tell you this. We had to put in our final Lombardi Award vote in on Friday. I wish they'd have waited till Sunday. I would have probably voted for Rodriguez at Texas Tech. Instead, I had voted for Caden Proctor from Alabama, not knowing they're going to get -3 yards rushing.
Yep.
So, well, you know, my vote went to Proctor, so I admit it.
Hey, Steve, let me ask you a question. I've been wanting to ask you this since I heard about it. So, obviously, the way everything shook out with Kiffin, yeah, I understand he had to make a decision, whatever. That all played out like it did. I also thought Keith Carter was right not to let him coach the team for the reasons stated. However, just a few days later, you now have a situation where a coach who's going to be on LSU staff is back coaching Ole Miss in the playoff. Now, obviously, for their offensive game plan, it's perfect that Charlie Weis is back and good for those kids. But it's the same argument to me, you know, that you've got, you know, a fox in the hen house, if you will. And I wondered what your thought was about Charlie Weis Jr. being able to come back and coach while he is on ostensibly another staff in the SEC.
Well, he's actually not on staff. He has not signed a contract here. He's got a letter of agreement, I believe is what it's called.
Okay.
And he had talked to Carter and he had talked to Golding before. He said, look, I got to get on that plane because after the season, I got to look out for my career, my family, and my future. He said, but I'm going to come back right after that because I'm coaching these kids through the playoff. And Golden said yesterday, he was like, that was in stone. He was coming right back. No big deal.
Okay.
But I think the big thing is the program trusts Charlie Weis around it.
Okay.
They didn't trust Lane Kiffin around it.
Okay.
And the thing they didn't trust about Kiffin was he's going to be there for a couple of weeks. He's going to try to take all our people away from us. Now, they said it kind of a roundabout way yesterday that, well, no, we got Weis in the building for a couple of weeks, probably, maybe a little longer. The longer he's here, the more he's going to say, you know what, I really like it here. He might not want to leave after coming back into the building. And if not, please go get John David Baker from East Carolina.
Yeah. That's where I was going to ask you the question of the day is, have you heard anybody talk about who the next OC is going to be? Has there been any, I mean, are they just floating? Because obviously they're talking. They're calling, they're emailing, they're doing all the things that they're supposed to do as well as get ready for this playoff. But still, Golden's got to get him an offensive coordinator. So do you think it is East Carolina's, or do you think there's more people to interview?
Well, there's three names. One of them's Charlie Weis Jr. The other one, I think the leader in the clubhouse will be John David Baker from East Carolina. He used to be the co-offensive coordinator under Kiffin at Ole Miss. And he went to be the OC at East Carolina, and really, they sort of lit it up this year. They're pretty good.
He's good.
So he could bring him back. The other would be Derek Nix. But I don't think they have a shot at him. I would say if Southern Miss wasn't stupid, but they are, they would hire Derek Nix as their head coach. He's a Southern Miss grad. And Southern Miss is going to be on their third coach in 3 years.
Yep.
Yeah.
Will Hall left to go to Tulane. Now, he just got elevated to the head coach since Summerall's leaving. Hall just left to go to Memphis, and he's taking half the staff with him.
Yep.
So Derek Nix will be the perfect hire, but if not, and you can't get Baker and you can't get Weis, get Derek Nix up there.
Yeah, that'd be a good hire.
A former Ole Miss coach.
Yep.
Yeah, I wondered who they were going to go. Would they go with somebody familiar with Oxford, or would they go outside of the realm? Obviously, everybody's looking for offensive coordinators as well, as some are already signed.
Again, what Golding said last night was just perfect. He's like, look, we have our program in place. This is the defense we run. This is the offense we run. We aren't changing this. It's got us 11-1 and got us in the championship tournament. Why would we change that? We're going to bring in coaches who fit into our scheme, and we're going to recruit players who fit in our scheme. Why would we change it?
Yeah.
So they're not going to bring in a wishbone guy or something like that suddenly. No, you're going to bring in somebody who can coach the players who were brought in to run this particular scheme. You got to bring in a coach who can coach that.
Yeah.
Have you heard any messages about Austin Simmons? Obviously,
you didn't hear what
I want to know about
what
him.
He said, right?
What did he say?
I'm glad you're sitting down. I wish y'all had seatbelts on. Somebody asked him that, okay, there's a rumor that Kiffin wants to come back to watch the playoff game, to be around his guys. And Simmons was the first one to step up and said, if he steps foot on this field, I step foot off of it. And not one player disputed that. So, he didn't show up for game day. I don't think he's going to show up in Oxford. Would you want 68,000 people booing you? If he didn't have to have it, he's going to have it next year.
I was going to say it's either now or next year. So either way, he's going to get it.
Next year it's different. He's with his team, but it's. Yeah, I don't think he will. He canceled game day too. Yeah.
This is kind of the weird thing is Tulane twice this year. So Summerall is. I put this in the barnstorming column this week, and people couldn't believe it. Summerall is going to come to Oxford twice this season. There's a chance he could end his G5 coaching career. The 20th in Oxford. He started it at Troy. His first game was at Oxford. Okay, but he's going to play in Oxford twice.
Wow.
This season. He's going to Florida. At least Ole Miss has to go to Florida next year. So if you don't think Summerall is going to be really, really familiar with that Ole Miss offense next year, I think the point spread is going to shrink in that one pretty quick.
Wow.
Do you think that with the way everything went with Lane Kiffin, that how Pete Golding has now taken over the helm, that it was more about Kiffin leaving and Golding being a part of the old way? Or do you think it was really they do believe in Golden and they just didn't want to, or you know what I'm saying? Because I kind of wonder if they just didn't want to let this whole thing explode in their face, and so they had to keep somebody, and so that was the reasoning behind keeping Golden there.
They believe in him, and after listening to him last night, the first media availability, I believe in him, to tell you the truth. Just little things like they said, and he used, let's just say, salty language. He's a real guy.
Yeah, he did.
And they asked him something about, you canceled the Tuesday presser for your introduction. And he said, I didn't need to put a tie on to come out here and, do a dog and pony show. We had work to do. I had to go and talk to coaches to see if I could keep them. I had to get these players on the same page. I told Keith Carter, we don't need to do this. We can do this Sunday night after the selection.
Yeah.
And he agreed with it. Then he went to the players and said, look, if y'all want to have a watch party, fine. We'll blow up balloons. We'll have some food. We can do that. So would you rather, let's put together a plan for the first game. We'll have the party after that. Players completely bought into that.
Yeah.
And my favorite thing, somebody, this was a little backhanded swat at Kiffin. I loved it. Said, well, Kiffin's got a big Instagram and X following. How are you going to increase that and keep it going? He goes, I'm not getting on X.
Yeah.
I ain't changing my clothes. I ain't doing yoga. I'm going to coach ball.
Yep.
I got a new contract. I don't know how many years. I don't know how much money, but they can fire me at any time, and my butt will be on the beach. But right now, I never called Keith Carter and said, I want this job. Never once. I want my job that I've got now. After this is over, I'll move over a little bit, but I want my job now. I mean, I can see why those kids want to kill for this guy.
Mm-hmm.
I just wonder, with the first game, I agree with Jeffrey. I'm all over it. I think it's not going to even be close. I just wonder if they're going to do the whole Clemson format of practice, that the first couple of days they're going to practice for Georgia, and then they'll kind of do some tune-up stuff for Tulane right there at the last minute.
Yeah. Well, they were, as he said, we were on the grass. They were on the grass this morning talking about Tulane. And he is good friends with John Summerall. And Summerall might be splitting a little time back and forth between Gainesville and New Orleans. His staff is not. And that's what somebody else said. I forgot who it was today. It might have been Ross Dellinger. It's like, I think you're going to see pretty much the same old Ole Miss team, because Charlie Weiss was really the guy calling the plays. Yeah. Kiffin could tweak them, and Kiffin would give suggestions. And they even asked Golden, he's like, are you going to coach on the field or you can go in the box? And he's like, it don't matter. You know, I've done it both. When I was, you know, at Alabama, I was on the field. First couple of years at Ole Miss, I was on the field. Then I was in the box, and I was back on the field. But I probably need to be on the field, not because of the reason you think. These kids don't give a expletive who leads them out of tunnel. They care about who got me prepared, who gave me a plan.
Yeah, that's huge.
And that's goalies. Like, they don't care. I don't care. I mean, that's rah-rah stuff. And when he talked about that opening press conference, he basically told the media, you're talking about the wrong expletive. You need to be talking about this team and what they've done and these players and how they prepare.
Yep.
This guy, I mean, this is the epitome of a player's coach.
Well, we will find out very, very soon. Steve, we're bumping up against a break, and we appreciate your insight as always. We want you to have a great weekend, okay?
Well, you know, my roommate graduates from University of West Florida on Saturday, so I'm going to go to that. After that, there's some really good FCS and D2 games on this week, guys. So it's not like it's a week off for football.
That's right.
All right, Steve. Well, thank you so much, my friend. We'll see you later.
Love y'all like fried chicken.
See you, Steve.
When we come back, we've got to talk a little bit more about this playoff committee and other things. You're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Call in now.
This is Touchstone service.
The Red 70s studio line is open.
Demonstrate how to make a call with your dial telephone.
850-215-6290. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida is your college football headquarters for the biggest and best games of the week.
It's a touchdown!
Huge rivalries and your favorite teams in the SEC, ACC, and beyond.
It's a miracle!
The Gators, Hurricanes, LSU, Georgia, Auburn, and Notre Dame play here.
Unbelievable!
The Gulf Coast headquarters for college football is 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
PCB Hobby, the beach's premier hobby store for sports cards, comics, coins, and trading card games. PCB Hobby carries the largest selection of boxes and packs from the latest releases of brands like Topps, Panini, Leaf, and more. Looking for a specific player or team? PCB Hobby has a wide assortment of raw and graded cards. They carry parallel rookie, game used, and autographed cards in both modern and vintage. Have a collection you want to sell? We buy, sell, and trade. PCB Hobby on Back Beach Road, just east of Florida Linen. Call 850-320-8388.
If you spend any time at all in your yard, you're going to encounter fire ants.
We know they can ruin a party. That's why we're this area's experts at fire ant elimination.
As your certified top choice professional, we will rid your yard of these unwanted invaders. Brock Pest is so sure they'll get rid of fire ants that they offer a 1-year guarantee.
Enjoy your yard fire ant free. We guarantee it. Give us a call for your free consultation.
Brock Lawn and Pest Control, our family protecting yours since 1968.
When it comes to building smart and roofing right, TK Vandy's is the name you can trust. They're your go-to for general contracting, design build solutions, and top quality roofing. From concept to completion, they deliver excellence on time and on budget. Whether it's a custom build or a complex renovation, they've got you covered, literally. Call TK Vandy today and build something better together. TK Vandy, built with purpose, roofed with pride.
The Gator Boys are back.
Florida will cut down the nets. Winners of the national championship.
And ready to defend their national title.
Correct. Layup good and one. Off the rim. Alley-oop dunk. Smashed down by Condon. Oh, yes, sir. Gets the foul line extended. Rises for three. Bang, he got it to the rack. Dunks it with two hands.
On your home for Florida basketball.
Tomorrow, it's the Gators versus UConn. Tip off at 8 right here on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Transmitting from the CBC Construction Studio. The puck stops here.
James Fife is part of the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Welcome back. You're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson here at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. We're so glad that you've decided to join us today, whether you're watching on Facebook, listening on the radio, YouTube, ESPN Northwest Florida app. We appreciate it. If you want to be a part of the show, you can be. You can call in at 850-215-6290. You know, we got to talk about the way all of these games went, but we also, you know, when Steve was just talking about how this game was going to be different and how that Pete Golden is this ball coach and all of those things are true. I'm not saying that. But really, when you look at it, if you had Nick Saban coming and coaching this Tulane team, you still got Tulane's players and you still got Ole Miss's players. There's more talent. There's more. And yes, they could upset them. Anybody can be upset any given night, but it's really less likely. As all of the games are set up, Jeffrey, I'm going to ask you first. So the first round games, you knowing who's where right now, like everybody else.
Yeah.
Who do you think that's the lowest seed has the best chance of the upset?
10. And that's Miami.
You think Miami's got the best chance to upset A&M?
Yeah, because I don't think 11 and 12 have a chance. So I think you can just throw them out. Now here's the weird part. I mean, because we're looking at 9. You know, Alabama's 9. Don't get me wrong. They have a really great chance to beat Oklahoma in their own house.
Yeah.
But you asked for the lowest, you know, not the lowest seed, but the furthest out.
Yeah.
And that's 10.
Yeah.
Because they have a chance.
Yeah.
But Alabama has maybe a better chance, but 11 and 12 does not have a chance.
I agree.
At all.
I'll say less than 12%, both of them.
So then why do we have them in there? Because you agree. You said I agree. So why are they in there?
Because it'd be a Cinderella.
Well,
but there's no way it's going to happen. It's not like basketball. You got 5 people playing against other 5 people. You've got 22 people playing against 22
people. But you have turnovers.
What you have to do, the way it's currently constructed, you have to allow for the opportunity of hope to exist.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you would have 40 teams. Now, if that's what we want to do, and basically high school, college football, and do 3A, 2A, 1A, whatever, that's okay. But in the current setup where you have 136 or whatever you have now, there does have to be, however difficult, that option to where they can get in. We just happen to get 2 this year thanks to Duke. But the way it played out is the way it played out. Now, can you tweak it? Sure. But I think you have to have that possibility out there the way it's currently constructed. Otherwise, why would a lot of these programs keep going? And if you keep eroding, and now you go from 136 down to 88 or down to 74 or whatever like that, there's a lot of people who won't be able to play major college football anymore. And I do think that would be bad for the whole ecosystem.
Yeah, I think if we added to it, if you're going to be fair, because really what we're asking this committee to do, and yes, you know, we've got people like, you know, are saying the playoff committee is a joke. The playoff committee needs to be fired. The playoff committee all across the spectrum is saying that because what is the number one thing that's said about the playoff committee is that we are selecting basically 12 best teams in college football, but we're going to allow number 20 and we're going to allow number 24 to be involved in the best 12 because of what they did in their conference that is totally not even close to what the other teams that got there could do.
But it wasn't close last year when Clemson was 12.
Right.
The reason they got a pass on that is because Clemson is a name. But Clemson wasn't one of the 12 best teams in the country last year.
Right.
But nobody expected SMU.
That's right. I mean, so it happens. I mean, They can tweak it. They need to add another hurdle. Maybe you have to be in the top 15 or the top 16 or whatever.
Yeah.
Add a hurdle.
Off.
But there has to be a path.
Yeah, it can't be the
They'll
last
tweak it.
20, like the number 25. Right.
Yeah, they'll tweak it.
And that's what we've got to do. I think they will I think they'll add 4 teams because they have to. Because if you go 12 and then you say, well, you're going to run into this every single year.
You're going to run into it
12,
at 16.
13.
You're going to run into it at 24. Hell, 64 was perfect in basketball. We're not 64 anymore. We're 68, which is the dumbest thing on earth.
Yeah, and I agree with you. The only thing that I can say is there will never be a perfect because everybody is delusional when it comes to their team unless you're a realist. And so really when you look at it, there should not be but the 12 best teams if you're going to say the 12 best
But
teams.
here's the problem with this, and Jeff will agree, I think, on this, and I think you will too. Everybody says put the 12 best teams in there, but the 3 of us could not agree on who the 12 best teams are. We'd probably get 10 or 11 the same.
Yeah.
But we wouldn't get it. And think about that across the country. Everybody says it's so easy, the 12 best teams.
Okay, well.
The part of the beauty of college football is that it is somewhat subjective.
I mean, look, I'm not hating on the committee right now. I think they did a really great job at the end.
They finally got it right.
Finally.
That's right.
And I would dare you. I would pick my 12 right now. And Tulane and James Madison are not in.
I agree with
that. I watched them on Friday.
Well, so who would you?
Vanderbilt and Notre Dame are my 11-12. Would you agree with the top 10 and then those two?
There's a lot of
Texas out.
Notre Dame's got to get in the conference if they want me to take them seriously.
Right.
They set up cupcake games to play cupcake games.
Yeah.
And you can have a 10-win run, and who did they beat in that 10-win run?
But what I'm saying is you
USC.
can make just as strong an argument for Texas, even though they have one more loss because they beat
played Ohio
Vanderbilt.
State.
And they beat Vanderbilt head-to-head.
Yeah. We're going to go to the phone line real quick. We've got Arnold on the line. What's going on?
Hey, man, I was just calling you and letting you know, y'all could have ended all of this junk if you was to take the SEC, take 4 teams out of the Big Ten, and then make it 20 teams in the whole conference. Play 10 East and West, play each other all year long. At the end of the year, give them 2 byes, and then a tournament at the end of the year, and you can tell the ACC, the rest of them, y'all go have your little Punch and Judy, because I'm telling you, the money is in the is not in the ACC. The money is the SEC and Big Ten. But I know a lot of people ain't going to agree with
Okay,
that.
but I have a question right now. Okay, if you're letting 4 teams in from the Big Ten, Indiana wasn't going to beat any of those teams ever.
That's true.
And they're number 1 and undefeated right now.
That's true. But I'm saying starting now because it seems like, man, you thought it was bad last year with 18. Now it's 12 teams. For too long, it's going to be just a complete mess. Yeah. Ain't nobody going to watch football. We're going to go back to watching high school.
That's right.
Well, that's true.
Well, one of the great things about college football, not just the subjectivity and the arguing, is the fact that every game does seem to matter. And that was one of the things that the tournament, as it expanded in basketball, did. It killed. The regular season does not matter that much in college basketball anymore.
Yeah.
It just doesn't.
Yeah.
Because so many teams are getting in. The fact that college football, it matters that much. Now, it doesn't matter quite as much as it did 3 years ago. Mm-hmm. Whereas 1 loss, you might be able to get away with. The second one, you're done.
Yeah.
Now it's 2 losses. The third one, you're just about done unless it's in the extra game. So, I just hate, because I think he's right. I think we are going to eventually expand it to the point where the regular season doesn't matter anymore.
Yeah.
And that'll be a shame.
That's very true. Well, we appreciate the call. Thanks for listening.
All right. Y'all have a good
Thanks,
day.
Man.
When you look at it, though, we want what's best for football, college football, and we want what's best for the kids. We want what's best for us. And if we're going to call it something, I just think we should try to figure a way, and they are. So, see, I think what you said, like most people would probably agree with, the fact that you think the committee got it right because you don't believe BYU is one of the top 12 best teams in the country.
Yeah.
and you felt like Miami was the better option. If you had to get two teams from the other two conferences, you felt like Miami was better than Notre Dame. And then where do you put Alabama in that? That's the second part of the whole question, because you feel like Alabama is a better option than Notre Dame or BYU or Vanderbilt or Texas, because those are all the ones that were right there on the outside.
So Alabama's the 9, Miami's the 10.
So, I mean, what I'm saying, though, is you agree, though, the way it all shook out, that is the top 12.
Yeah.
Yeah, he just wishes we could have two different teams at 11 and 12, which I agree
exactly.
with.
Yeah.
Because you believe at top to bottom, 1 through 12, if you do that, then anybody really is anybody's game.
It would be a better 1 to 12 tournament.
No, because then Tulane can't get in, even if they had one loss to Ole Miss. I would think. And I know they have 2 losses. I get that. But let's say they did win that other game, and they were a 12-1 team right now. Tulane would not be in the top 12. They have no chance. And I love the hope. I love that.
Yeah, but
it's all it is hope.
But that's where you have a battle, because if you did put Notre Dame, Texas, Notre Dame, Vanderbilt, whatever, it is a better 1 to 12 tournament.
Yes.
But is college football overall better, removing that chance for everybody else? I don't know.
Yeah. I mean,
that's a tougher question.
To me, it makes more sense that you're going to have to fix and do the things that Tulane did, which is play Ole Miss in the season and see where you land.
Yeah.
And then whether it's at the end or at the beginning, none of that should matter. It's just subjective. And then being able to give. You got to change the system that's the way it's set now, because you can't have a 24th ranked team in the country being up there with the top 12 or the top 10 teams in the country, because really there is no hope. You can say, where basketball, you can have one guy that takes over and dominates. You can't really have one guy that can just dominate a football game. You can't, because you got to play defense. You got to have blocking. You got to be able to throw. You got to be able to run, all of that. Yeah. So either way, when we come back, we'll discuss more of this. Thanks for listening. You're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Taking your hot takes, rants, and takedowns. Let's hear it on the Red 7T studio line. 850-215-6290. Keep the game going with ESPN Northwest Florida. Just because you get out of the car doesn't mean the Sports Talk and Live play-by-play have to end. Just say, hey, Alexa, open ESPN Northwest Florida. From Michigan Avenue to the Man Cave, from the car to the kitchen, we've got you covered. Keep the game going. Hey, Alexa, open ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good afternoon. This is Joanna with your latest forecast on ESPN Northwest Florida. The remainder of the day, partly cloudy and a temperature of 60 with wind 15 to 20 miles per hour out of the north. Mostly clear skies tonight, a brisk wind and cool near 43. Sunny and 57 tomorrow. 66 and sunshine with a gentle breeze Wednesday. Thursday, sunshine and a temperature about the same at 63. This is your Monday's weather brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for keeping that dial on ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
It's the end of the year and the perfect time to unwrap big savings on a brand new 2025 Kia from Bill Bird Kia. Ready for adventure? Well, drive into the holidays in an award-winning Kia SUV line like the Soul, Seltos, Sportage, Sorento, or the bold Telluride. If you want luxury and performance, slide into the sleek 2025 Kia K4 or K5 sedan, always designed to thrill. And going electric this year, spark inspiration with the all-electric 2025 EV6 long long-range, fast-charging, and electrifying style. At Bill Bird Kia, you'll get comfort, safety, and technology all wrapped into one perfect package. And don't forget, we're the original home of the 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty. Stop by and see us at 2435 East 15th Street in Panama City or online anytime at BillBirdKiaPanamaCity.com. We'll treat you like family and give you the peace of mind you can trust. Bill Bird Kia, your local community dealer. Love your ride this holiday season. The 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty is a Bill Bird Kia.
PLQ Port St. Joe, WGSX, powered by Panama City Toyota.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
The Gator Boys are back.
Florida will cut down the nets. Winners of the national championship.
And ready to defend their national title.
The rack. Layup good and wide. Off the rim. Alley-oop dunk. Smashed down by Condon. Oh, yes, sir. Gets the foul line extended. Rises for three. Bang, he got it to the rack. Dunks it with two hands.
On your home for Florida basketball.
Tomorrow, it's the Gators versus UConn. Tip-off at 8, right here on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
You found us inside the CBC Construction Studios. His major in college?
We're going streaking through the quad!
LSU Jeff is part of the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson.
Come on, everybody, we're going!
104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Here we go!
But you did. And we're glad that you are, because you're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson here at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida, your place for Monday Night Football coverage after the show. Kickoffs at 7:20. We got Philadelphia and the Chargers tonight right after this show. You want to be a part of this show? You can be. All you got to do is call in on the Red 7T's phone line, 850-215-6290. As always on Monday, we got Coach Brian Haddad in the building. Jeffrey's here. James is here. Now, when we look at this committee deal, we look at all of it, we all kind of have the same mantra as far as the last two teams being left in. And with that being said, we haven't really talked about Notre Dame. Notre Dame obviously is a better option than James Madison, and it's a better option than Tulane. We know that. But the rules are the rules is basically how it's set up. That's just a part of it. And Jeffrey, you've been making the statement for all the listeners that haven't been listening until now. You've made the statement that the committee, you're happy with them, and you believe that it's correct. But they had to make a correction because you felt like early on Notre Dame was too high.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I've been saying it since week 2.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, come on. And so they finally got it right. The argument was there, and then I don't want to debate that BYU is in between Notre Dame and Miami, so they weren't comparing them side by side. I don't really believe all that. I mean, and I watched that BYU against Texas Tech, and it was like they had athletes. Texas Tech was deep, and they were having fun. And after that first drive that BYU went down, got 90-yard touchdown drive and went up 7-0. After that, it was like a switch went off, and Texas Tech took control. And as soon as BYU is scrappy. I'll have to give them. They had great effort. But then at one point, they just, they were trying to rush it up too much, and then they had the turnovers, and then just Texas Tech just closed the door on them and never looked back.
For the most part, if you turn the ball over in a game like that against a good team, we all agree that Texas Tech is a good team. I'm probably a little bit downgraded Texas Tech.
You think they're a 7 or 8?
I don't think that they're a number 4 team in the country.
But do you think they're a 7 or 8?
I think so. I think I believe that Vanderbilt would beat Texas Tech.
I think every team from Texas Tech to Oklahoma has some faults.
Yeah. I agree with that.
And that's why I'm not upset with them being 4. In fact, I'm probably more bullish on Tech than either of you. I think they're this year's Arizona State.
Yes, I do too.
I really
That's not
do.
bad.
I
That's
really
exactly
do.
That's not bad.
I would do.
And so they're a team I would not want to face. If they were at 7 or 8, would it bother me? Nah. But it doesn't bother me they're at 4 either, because to me, I don't think Oregon's all that good. Ole Miss has holes, and certainly the issue with the uncertainty of the coaching. A&M has some holes. They don't tackle very well. Now, they have athletes, and so they're dangerous. And Oklahoma certainly has some holes, too. So, I mean, from 4 to 8, they're all teams that are very good and capable of great, but they're also capable of laying a big old egg.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think 4 down is where the problem starts. I do believe that Indiana is who they say they are. I believe that Ohio State
The top 3 separated itself.
Is better, and I think Georgia is better. I think Ohio State, I think a lot of people, and man, this pains me to say because I absolutely detest Ohio State 100%. But I do believe that Ohio State did not have much to play for in that game except for seeding, and I don't think it really matters, but it did matter because now they're going to have to be in the same bracket with Georgia if it all shakes out like it says, 2 and 3. But I just felt like the whole time, in which we talked about this, that Indiana had more to prove.
Yeah.
And I believe what you said at the break, that both quarterbacks was trying to get their Heisman moments, and the coaches allowed that to happen.
Yes.
It just didn't work out so much on Sayin as it did maybe as Mendoza just because they won the game. But let's don't push it too far. I believe both of y'all agree with me that they did not pull out all the stops to try to win the football game. That's why that game, to me, it was a good football game because you've got good athletes and good coaching, but I don't believe it was a great game because I don't feel like I think they really ran a vanilla offense from both sides of the spectrum. I don't think they were doing anything crazy that you would do if you were playing Georgia in the second round.
You weren't playing for your life.
Right. And so that kind of bids us to the next step. People are now saying, and there's people on our Facebook page that said it already since today's show, that we should get rid of the conference championships. And see, I don't think so. I think we've got to figure a way to get the true conference champions and the second team in the conference and make them play and make this game mean something. But how can you do it? That's the question.
Basketball hasn't.
And neither is baseball.
It's the same problem.
And it's completely irrelevant.
That's
LSU
right.
doesn't even worry about the SEC tournament.
I mean, it's the same.
That's true.
It's the same problem. It's good as an automatic qualifier for the team that is able to win it, but for the top guys who know they're in,
basketball.
you have the same problem.
Was that Ole Miss that really wasn't going to be much of anything in baseball?
Made a late run.
They won.
Well, they didn't win the tournament, but they made a late run to the fact that they got in, quote, the last team in, and then they won the championship.
Yeah.
Which I think Virginia did the year before.
Okay, let me bring up
how it works.
Let me bring up another thought now. When we're looking at this top 10, forget about 11, 12. We ain't worried about them jerks.
Wow.
If you're a Tulane fan or a JMU fan, please call in.
I don't have a side team. I'm not rooting for Tulane. I'm sorry. You can just forget that. Okay. Oklahoma, obviously tested. Alabama, Georgia, obviously tested. Ohio State, not really so tested.
Right.
Texas A&M, not so really tested because they've been saying Texas A&M plays below this line in the SEC. Who else is in that category? Texas Tech, I guess? Untested?
Untested, yes.
Yeah.
I'm not so sure Oregon's really had to lay it all on the line yet.
Oregon
They had
played
the one
Indiana,
loss, didn't play very well on the road.
and it wasn't.
And USC, they played USC.
Was the Indiana
the
loss?
test for Oregon was the win that they got in overtime against Penn State. That was a test because remember at that time Penn State was number 2 in the country. That was still before they had fallen apart.
Were they 3-2?
They were either 3 or they were 2. They had not lost.
No, I mean
yet.
like their record.
No, that was the one.
Really?
Then the next week they went to UCLA, and that's when it all fell apart.
That's right.
So that was a test. So maybe I'll throw Oregon in there. They've at least been tested.
Yeah.
Remember the old adage, and I don't know that I've ever agreed with it, but they used to say it in basketball too. It said, sometimes it's not bad to get a loss. Right before thing. We saw, obviously, Ohio State last year. I mean, it almost cost Day his job, but there were a lot of people who said, sometimes that kind of gathers the troops and wakes you up. So Ohio State getting that loss may not be the worst thing in the world for them. Texas A&M may not be the worst thing in the world for them. Actually, everything's kind of gone your way, and then it doesn't. It's like, okay, now we have to refocus and go back to work. So all those teams that lost like that, maybe it's not the worst thing in the world that they did.
Yeah. Ohio State has not won the Big Ten 5 years in a row.
Yeah.
Amazing.
And it's
That's
really
crazy.
And it's really getting to the point to where the fans are starting to believe like it doesn't matter. We've come to this, we've talked about it too, we've come to now this way that the playoff is all that matters.
That's true.
And that's something
Conference
that
championship does not matter like it used to.
No. And we don't love it. I don't, as an older fan, I don't love that. That's why I want to hold on to it, because we got to have a conference.
You know the last time it mattered? When Georgia was number one in the country going into the SEC championship game and lost and ended up sixth and out of the playoff.
Yep.
Yeah, that did happen.
That's the last time the conference championship
23.
truly mattered.
2023.
Like no, it matters to other teams. It mattered to Duke.
Yeah.
It's a big deal for Duke. Which, by the way, I will say this. The committee, and I'll go down my conspiracy theory hole here with you in a second. But I do think the committee, a lot of what they were doing with Notre Dame is they never envisioned a scenario where Duke got into the mix. They always thought it would be Miami and Virginia or whatever.
Or Georgia Tech.
Or Georgia Tech and Virginia. Somebody who had enough gravitas that they were probably going to be up there and in as the other conference champion. I think they overlooked it, and because of that, that's what started all the panic. I don't think people would be upset today that much if Tulane were in at 12 and that was all. The fact that we have two of them this year
it probably bothers them.
Is what's throwing them. And it all started because the committee did not envision a scenario whereby Duke entered the fray.
That is true.
And I am convinced, and I'll save it, but I am convinced part of the committee's reasoning, even though they're backed up by stats and a head-to-head, I don't think they wanted to leave the ACC out, because I do think that would have killed that conference.
It would have been a big deal. We're going to go to the Red 17's phone line. We got Adam on the line. Adam, how you doing today, my friend?
I'm doing pretty good. How you guys doing?
We're doing great.
Hey, so I know you guys were wanting a Tulane fan to call in, and I think I'm kind of, y'all were talking about this a little bit earlier, and I know people all up in arms about Tulane getting in, and I can understand it. I even sympathize and understand with some of the things that you guys are saying as far as having the 12 best teams. And I agree with that. I think it should be the 12 best teams, but this is kind of the system that we have. And I agree with the hope thing and about, the odds being stacked against. But, I didn't believe, and I'll make an admission here. I went to Tulane, but I grew up in Baton Rouge. So Tulane is actually more my side team, because I went to Tulane in the late 90s, when we really were not, mid-90s, because we were good actually at the end of the 90s. So, LSU was more my team, but, I did go to Tulane. But I didn't think Tulane was going to beat USC either, and I know the same thing with the Boise, Oklahoma.
Yeah.
So I think if there's a year, or if there's a time where this might be a competitive game, and judging from earlier in the year, it probably won't be. But if there's a year and situation, this would be it, because no Lane Kiffin. Yes, they got the offensive coordinator back calling the game, and, of course, the defensive coach is now the coach. But, we still have John Summerall, and John Summerall is one heck of a motivator. So I just, I've got that hope, I guess, y'all were talking about. And so, so who knows?
Yeah.
I agree with you.
Let me tell you a story about a buddy of mine, and this sounds weird, but he was a cheerleader at Tulane, okay? And Tulane went 12-0 one year and went and played BYU in Hawaii.
Yeah.
And he got a trip to Hawaii as a cheerleader, and he'll never forget this. And it's like the monumental thing that he ever did as a Tulane cheerleader. And these people opting out of bowl games, it's a travesty to even cheerleaders.
Yes.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Well, you think back to that 98 team. I mean, that 98 team, I don't think they played anybody that year. But
they beat BYU.
The year with Bowden. Well, they did, and I think BYU was ranked 9th. If I'm not mistaken, that year.
That's right.
Yeah, so and again, it's still Tulane. So, we just had a good coach, and we had a good team. It wasn't that we had the best players.
Sean King started in the NFL for the Bucs.
he did.
Yeah. Played some good football.
Yeah.
And the thing is that when you, I hope that we're not sounding so dismissal of the team. They deserved all the glamour that they've got. It's not their fault that the rules are what the rules are. They played by the rules.
They did what they did.
And so, and there's no shame in saying, hey, you know, there's a 99% chance that we're going to lose. So you're telling me we got a chance, right? So I mean, that really is the key.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And like I just, you know, like I said in the beginning, this is the system that we have.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of a farce too that the 24th ranked team is going to be playing with the 12th, you know, ranked team, or even the 20th in Tulane's case.
Yeah.
But you know, it's the. Am I sorry about it? I'm not sorry about it this year.
Yeah.
You know, because Tulane gets that chance. And look, I will tell you guys, because again, I went to Tulane for both undergrad and grad school, and I always, you know, not regretted, but I always was sorry because there was really not a lot of school spirit. Nobody went to the games in the Superdome. You know, it wasn't any of that stuff. But I will tell you, I was there for homecoming, 2 or 3 weeks ago, and I have never seen so many people walking around the streets of New Orleans with Tulane gear on. I mean, it's unheard of. Like, even the people that went there didn't buy Tulane gear. But now you can't throw a football far enough and not hit somebody wearing a Tulane, you know, hat or a Tulane shirt. So it's good for the program. It's good for the school. You know, we'll see what happens.
I'll tell you this: if they upset Ole Miss, me, Jeffrey, Brian, whoever else wants one, we'll all order some Tulane gear. We will wear it on the show the week.
I went to Mississippi State. Of course, I'll wear it. Yeah, beat them.
Well, and I will tell you, if we do beat Ole Miss, and this would be the time we could beat them, I think that's gonna be it. I don't see us beating anybody else.
Yeah.
But hey, this game, I think there's probably a little bit more of a chance than there may have been just because of the circumstances.
Good point.
With, you know, how everything went down.
That's a good point. We appreciate you calling, Adam. I do appreciate you, man.
Yes, sir, man. You guys take care. Roll wave.
All right, buddy. Thank you.
So you know what's funny and ironic when you think about this Cinderella argument, and there are a lot of people today who think they're actually giving Cinderella a chance by throwing him a bone to get in this tournament. What we actually in reality have, Cinderella has never had a worse shot to win a national championship ever. No, I'm serious.
Yeah.
The last one that won.
It's funny.
The last one that won, was, I would say, is 84, BYU.
Yeah.
And I don't know if they were full Cinderella, but nobody saw that one coming. West Virginia played for the national championship, I think, in 88. The way the bowl system didn't always pit 1v2, but you had a team that would be Cinderella, they would run through, be undefeated, they would have a shot because of the way the one-off games would go. And Cinderella can win one game.
Right.
Having to win 3 consecutive games against the top 10, I don't think we're ever going to see a Cinderella win the national championship again. So now you're basically giving them like the participation trophy in a way.
Yeah.
So I know the people who think they're giving them a chance, I think they have less of a chance than they've ever had in history.
Right,
but
and that's right.
To win the championship.
But just to be there, that's one, marketing for the school, and two, how much are they making?
It's great for the school, and it's great for their conference.
Yeah.
I mean, the Sun Belt just earned what, $20 million?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
wow.
Exactly. That's
that they didn't count on because James Madison got in? Isn't that what the payout is now?
I didn't know it was 20 million.
It's $5 million every school.
Oh, I was thinking 20 because of multiple.
SEC,
okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
$5 million.
Hey, $5 million for the Sun Belt? Tell me that's not a big deal.
That's a big deal.
Notre Dame's blowing away $1 million just for opting out of a bowl game, a big bowl game.
Yeah.
You know, I wonder if this would work to the bowl games. You brought up a good point about that. And I mean, you actually do need to think about you're depriving student workers with the video camera, like what I was doing, like that, the bands, the cheerleaders, the staff, all of that, their chances. What if you took the money that a university earns going to a bowl game? Let's say that the Poulon Weed Eater Bowl gives you $2 million per team to play in their game. Here's a way to do it. That money goes directly to the players.
Whoa. No.
Why not?
Then they'll all want to opt out.
No, they play. No.
Oh, to play
in the game. Instead of the money just going to the school, the money goes to the players.
Okay.
That way, not only is the team going, but the players aren't opting out. Maybe. I don't know how much NIL they're on, but
yeah, it would really depend.
Might work.
It would help. But when you look at how excited he was that they were going, he's a realist. You could tell by the way he was talking. He knows that they don't really have a chance.
Sure.
And you're exactly right. But, what was Ohio State last year? Were they 7th or 8th?
Eighth.
They were 8th. So
Notre Dame was 7th, and they were in the final
hang
2.
On. Now, to be fair, I don't think they'd have been 8 because remember last year you had to put those conference champions at 3
right,
and
they would have been
they'd have probably been 6,
somewhere around there.
But yeah, they weren't 1 or 2.
No, and that's why I think the bracket part of it is good, and you do for the teams that are going these conference championships or however they want to do the rules that help them get better positioning because Indiana. Now, the way that they're set up is they got the weakest side of the bracket. Ohio State is going to have to play possibly, because there's always going to be that question 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. But then every year there's going to be, okay, with this team, I would rather, if I was Indiana, I've already played Oregon, or I think Indiana's a way better than Texas Tech. But then 2 and 3.
1 should have it easier than 2. The biggest gripe right now is I think Georgia lucked out going in at 3.
Correct.
Because now they draw the 6-11, both of which are teams without their head coach, theoretically. I mean, Summerall's there.
Right.
But Georgia drawing the 6-11 matchup is Ole Miss or Tulane. Ohio State, the higher seed, draws the winner of A&M and Miami.
Yeah.
Who might be... And that's two of the best teams.
Right. We're also lucky to have a rule that nobody replays somebody because Alabama's rematching Oklahoma and Ole Miss is rematching too.
Yeah, I don't like.
Just imagine if they would have had that rule in there. Yeah. That wouldn't have lasted long.
Yeah.
And that's a big deal. Like they could go through the whole thing and somehow tweak it. But we're going to go ahead and take our next break. And when we come back, we're going to talk more about this. There's definitely a lot more to talk about. You're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson at 104.3 ESPN, Northwest Florida.
The Red 70s studio line is now open. 850-215-6290. You've read the headlines. You've seen the highlights.
Highway robbery!
But how about the unfiltered truth?
Steroid era, you can like it, love it, hate it, whatever. It's a baseball.
Since 2017, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida has been the undisputed leader for sports coverage on the Panhandle. If it matters in sports, it matters to us, and it matters to you. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good evening. This is Joanna on ESPN Northwest Florida with your weather forecast on this Monday. Mostly clear tonight with a brisk wind around 11 miles per hour out of the north and temps near 42. Tomorrow morning, we will have mostly sunshine and a wind speed of 9 miles per hour and be warm at 51. Clear in the afternoon and evening and a high 57 with a light breeze. Sunshine Wednesday with a temp of 66. This forecast is sponsored by Mid-South Lumber, the best little lumber yard in Panama City. Thank you for tuning into ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Your goals matter, and at Anytime Fitness Panama City, they're ready to help you crush them. With expert coaching, personal training, and virtual workouts through the Anytime Fitness app, you'll have all the support you need inside the club and beyond. Limited time only. Join today for just $1 down and start your fitness journey now. Don't wait. Visit 107 West 23rd Street, Suite W8, or call 850-818-8184. Anytime Fitness. Let's make healthy happen. Looking for dependable civil construction in the Florida Panhandle? CBC Construction has you covered. From land clearing and drainage to roads and underground utilities, CBC delivers high-quality work on time and on budget. Locally owned and operated, CBC is trusted by schools, developers, and municipalities. To learn more, call CBC Construction 850-740-3815 or visit cbcconstruction.com. That's cbcconstruction.com.
PCB Hobby, the beach's premier hobby store for sports cards, comics, coins, and trading card games. PCB Hobby carries the largest selection of boxes and packs from the latest releases of brands like Topps, Panini, Leaf, and more. Looking for a specific player or team? PCB Hobby has a wide assortment of raw and graded cards. They carry parallel rookie, game used, and autographed cards in both modern and vintage. Have a collection you want to sell? We buy, sell, and trade. PCB Hobby on Back Beach Road, just east of Florida Linen. Call 850-320-8388.
The Gator Boys are back.
Florida will cut down the nets. Winners of the national championship.
And ready to defend their national title.
The rack. Layup good and wide. Off the rim. Alley-oop dunk. Smashed down by Condon. Oh, yes, sir. Gets the foul line extended. Rises for three. Bang, he got it. To the rack. Dunks it with two hands.
On your home for Florida basketball.
Tomorrow, it's the Gators versus UConn. Tip-off at 8, right here on 104.3 ESPN, Northwest Florida.
His major in college? The sweet brown liquor.
Wait, you changed your name to McLovin? McLovin?
LSU Jeff is part of the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Welcome back. You're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson here at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. You can always be a part of the show, 850-215-6290. You can comment on the Facebook page. We will read those online as long as they're not too long and disparaging of Jeffrey.
But what if they have curse words? Because it looks like
FCC.
Multicante is he's got a filter. It's great.
Yeah, he's really good. I mean, but either way, you got to. He said hold on. He said that Miami's got a chance. Do you think Miami's got a real chance to win the whole thing?
Okay, so they win against the 7 seed, Texas A&M, which is a chance, definitely a chance. And then they go play a 2 seed, which is Ohio State. Again, that would be some hate. Because he said, does anybody remember, was it 2003 or whatever, 2002, whatever? I think it was the 2002 season.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Golly.
Phantom call.
Boy, Miami would be looking for some revenge on that one.
Yeah.
And then they'll have to play.
To be fair, none of those players were alive. But
True. And then they have to play a 3 Georgia. It's a long road, man. Don't get ahead of yourself. One game at a time, Multicante. One game at a time.
So, yeah, just one at a time.
I mean, that's big time. A&M, Ohio State, Georgia?
If they win those games, they deserve a championship.
Oh, yeah, they do. Heck yeah.
And Carson Beck should be the Heisman if they win, because that's the only way they're going to win.
I just want to know, how were those Miami fans? Were they, like, dancing in the street after they got that?
I saw one guy dancing.
Both of them?
I saw some of them dancing. I did. I saw them online dancing. So
well, they should.
And
I mean, look, if you're in, you got a chance.
And I did get a message from Multicante, so that was good for that night.
Well, I mean, I think the ACC needs to redo their tie-breaking rules.
Correct.
Duke didn't belong in the ACC, even though they gave us a great game. I was entertained, and then I didn't even think I was going to be entertained, and I stayed up till like 11:30 at night, which I shouldn't have, but I did anyway because I was entertained.
But it also let us know that Virginia really wasn't good.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, yeah, they made some good plays or whatever, but Duke was not a good football team this year, and they showed that game after game after game. And Virginia was just not very good. They didn't deserve to be in the college football playoff at all.
Right.
I don't agree with that at all. So either way, we're going to do our PCB hobby takeover with just Brian here.
Yep.
Some of the guys are gone.
Just Brian?
Yeah, so they're all gone.
Yeah, what a letdown.
And, you know.
Well, they're in Tokyo. They have a real.
They're
no
Japan.
excuse.
They're on tomorrow.
They're already
on
there.
tomorrow.
Yeah, they're already there.
Yeah. Wow.
So, like, they're going to actually be able to live a day over.
Yes.
When they get back. Because they're ahead of us.
It'll be the whole Hulk Hogan where he said he wrestled 400 days in 1 year because he kept crossing the date.
Oh.
Of course, he forgot he kept crossing back, but whatever. That's a whole nother
well,
thing.
he's dead, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, a lot of things going on. PCB Hobby this coming Saturday, just in time for all these releases, is Super Saturday. So, again, 10% off all sealed product. Also, spend $75 or more on sealed product. You get a chance to spin the wheel to earn extra things like that. The biggest story going on in sports right now in hobby, other than what you're probably going to bring up here in a second, is the release calendar. Oh, my good. Right in time for the holidays. so much stuff is coming out. So this week alone, Topps Chrome Update Baseball hits, and I can tell you it's landed. It's in the shop. I can't sell it till Wednesday, but it's there, and that is a huge one because that's the one with the debut patches.
And how much is the hobby box, the mega box?
Don't know yet.
Okay.
I'll know that tomorrow. So,
Okay.
but those become available on Wednesday. Also, it's a big one for Topps. Star Wars Chrome Galaxy. That's always a big for Star Wars fans who get in there. Those are big-time cards as well. Also, on Friday, Topps Archives baseball hits. A little more affordable. It's where they take the current players and all like that, put them on various different old-style looks. So they might go 65, 78, and 2003 or something like that. That is always a very, very popular set as you go. When you get into next week, it really heats up. Cosmic Chrome Baseball will be next week. That's a really high-end Chrome set that really is popular. Formula One just finished their season, crowned a new champion. Topps Chrome Formula One hits next Wednesday. Next Thursday, Topps Chrome Basketball.
That's
going to be
big one.
the release of the year. That's next Thursday.
Man.
Within all of that, you've got Panini National Treasures College Football hitting next week. Beginning of next week, National Treasures Racing. That's going to be NASCAR. Oh, and I forgot, this Friday, Rookies and Stars Football is out.
Wow.
It is a crazy,
cards.
crazy crammed, loaded schedule, but a lot of cool stuff. And the nice thing is, at a lot of different price points. You have some ultra high-end products coming out, but you also have some products that are very affordable with chances at really fun cards too. So a lot of different stuff coming. Again, the story this week really primarily is going to be around update or Chrome Update Baseball, because again, that's the one that you've got all the rookie autographs and you got all that, but the chase for those debut patches is what makes that so much fun.
Yeah.
So are the first baseball rookie cards made in July after the draft?
No. So with baseball, they don't put out a rookie card for you until you actually make the bigs.
Oh, okay.
Whereas in football and basketball, it's pretty much the first runs after the draft is how it goes. Baseball, they do wait. However, baseball makes a product called Bowman, which will cover you in the minor leagues, and a first Bowman. They'll do that right after the draft, sometimes literally right after. And that first Bowman is somewhat on par with rookie cards now.
Wow.
You know, so it's a big deal too.
And all of those are going to have like signatures and all of that kind of stuff.
Every product now comes with some level of autographs and different things like that. And then depending on, you know, the cheaper buy-in, typically there's remote chance. The more expensive tend to come with guarantees.
Yeah.
So,
and that's what you want. And just like any cards that they're doing now, which I don't know if you've seen them or not, but it's patches and jerseys.
It's amazing what they do.
I mean, I saw a
bat knob.
I mean, just crazy stuff. So if you get something like that, you know, it's a big deal. So we got to talk about it.
Okay.
We got to go there. PSA, a big scandal in PSA. Everybody knows what PSA is, and if you don't know what PSA is, it's where you send your card to get graded. And if you know, based off of how good the card is, as far as just where the layout is and whether or not it's got bent corners, or just the whole deal about making sure that the card is exactly what it is. And when you get it graded, it goes up in value as almost perfect as it is as far as how they grade the price on it. So,
well, it removes a level of subjectivity.
Right, because if you hold on to your card without getting it graded, they call it raw, and it's worth this amount raw. And then when you get it graded, it's worth this amount based off of what the grade is.
Correct.
So hopefully I explained that.
Yeah.
So what happened is they got caught.
Well, it's a little bit gray. So I can go through the whole thing. Just give you a little extra thing. PSA is by far and away the industry leader when it comes to cards. I'll put it to you this way. The rest of the grading companies, and there are other ones, and they're all, you know, they all have good marks of their own. Let's say last month, the rest of the grading companies did roughly 450,000, 500,000 cards in a month. combined. It's like another 6 companies. PSA did over 1.7 million
by themselves.
So they are by far and away. They also, by far and away, the highest resale value. They're seen as the industry standard. So what happened was PSA about 6 months ago, 4 months ago, somewhere in there, rolled out this new thing through their vault. And the younger people are going to get this a lot better than us. So they have a vault, basically, where they buy and sell cards. Like, they'll grade it, and then they can immediately put it up in their vault and take offers for the card, right? So that way, they don't have to mail it to you, and then you list it on eBay, and then these fees, whatever like that. For a lot of people, it's like, great, let's just flip it and sell it, and let's go. Okay, idea sounds fine, right? So what happened was a guy submitted a 30-card Pokemon order, and he got 0, 10. 10 is the highest grades. Now, that's surprising. Pokemon usually grade a little better than sports cards, rounded corners, things like that. It's a little easier. So that was odd. He kind of complained about it on social media. First time I've ever put in a submission this big, da-da-da-da-da. In the interim, he's got all these 9s. He took offers on the 9s. So he sold them as 9s. Somewhere along the line, he went back in and checked a cert or 2, and all of a sudden that card is showing up as a 10 when you check the certificate number. Now, what PSA's argument is, and now we're going to get into what we believe and what we don't. What PSA's argument is what they did was they heard his complaint, they tasked a new grader to go back in and look, and they changed some grades. The problem being he had already sold them as 9s. So in this specific case, they have since reached out to him and made good. However, it gets the tinfoil hat seeming a little more snug and normal because theoretically,
good at saying that.
Yeah, no, I'm not. I'm saying it's starting to feel like a regular hat because the problem with that is it is a very easy next step to go, well, PSA is going to do this so that it can be bought much cheaper. Then they can change it and sell it for more.
Yeah.
And not all of them are bought by PSA themselves. A lot of them are people make offers, this, that, or the other. It's a loophole I don't think is great. And so I know what they're trying to do. I think they're trying to provide a good service that people want. But it's one of those cases where if you're asking me personally, I think there's too much gray area for issues like this to be a problem. So I didn't like it from the beginning that they were doing it. And a lot of people told me that's because I'm old and I don't understand the vault and I want the card in my hand. That's fine. I'll take that. But so ultimately, that's what happened. Now, do you believe? Because I can guarantee you, this isn't the only guy who's ever complained about not getting certain grades that they want. It happens all the time. And they just happened to see that X thread or whatever it was. I don't know.
Yeah.
The bottom line is it's not a good look.
They got caught.
It's not a good look. I don't know if they got caught. I don't know if it was just a sequence of circumstances. People will say I'm a shill. I don't care. But what I'm saying is it's not a good look regardless. Even if it was done with the best of intentions, it's a bad look. So they do need to find a way to make this more transparent, less possible for fraud or manipulation.
Yeah. Well, who doesn't do that kind of stuff is PCB Hobby, though.
It's 100%
That's
true.
exactly right. And what's the address?
11939 Panama City Beach Parkway, right there next to Florida Linen. Your check is hopefully in the mail from them.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
These cards are numbered, and so you can track them?
Correct.
Yeah, they just give them a number.
Yeah, they have certificate numbers. They have hologram things that you can check, everything like that. It is, look, do you think they're going to risk their company for a $30 sale or a $100 different sale? No. I mean, that's where I don't think it's nefarious. The problem is it has the ability to be manipulated. That, to me, is where the problem is. And there are other vaults. There are other things where this can happen. So what I'm saying is I don't think this is a uniquely PSA issue. But because they're the biggest ones out there, they're going to attract the most attention.
Yeah.
They're going to attract the most scrutiny, rightfully so.
Yeah.
So it's not a good look for PSA. Hopefully they close up this loophole and make sure that people can have more faith in the entire grading scale, because it is important.
And the good thing is it's not any way, shape, or form connected to PCB Hobby for sure.
It's
this
the
is just a national deal.
Do we submit cards to PSA? Yeah, we do, and we will continue to do so.
Yeah.
Would you think that they would do less using PSA and use others?
It's possible some people could. The bottom line, though, is going to... Everyone has complained about PSA for 1,000 years because they've been the big boy in the room.
Yeah.
And the thing is that everyone who complains about them still uses them because they draw the biggest resale value.
Oh, wow.
You can go move... CGC is an excellent company. I think they have a better looking slab. They don't have the same resale.
Yeah.
SGC was making great inroads against them. Their turnaround time was about 5 times faster than PSA. Some cards look better, James will know, in an SGC slab.
Yeah.
They can't even approach PSA in resale value. Beckett was the one who used to, and they've been so disorganized since COVID, they've almost dropped to a complete non-factor in the business. And they've been in the business for 50 years.
Yeah, they've been in there when I was doing it.
So what I'm saying is, people can say all they want about, oh, we're never using them again. They always do.
They will.
Because they're the industry standard. They draw the highest return on investment.
You know who else is in industry standard? AutoNation Ford in Panama City.
Hey, that's a segue, baby.
You don't ever find a bad deal there. They're going to take care of you. They're going to get you in the right vehicle at the right price. They've got all the deals still going on before the end of the year. Go ahead and go down there, get you in a vehicle exactly what you want. If you don't see what they've got on what they have on the lot that you want, they can look online for you and grab it from anywhere. So make sure you go do that. Also, your vehicle matters. Get your vehicle looking sharp and in pristine condition. How do you do that? Take it over to Recommended Collision Center. Brandon and those guys will take care of you. Free estimates. They'll be they're local, they're honest, and they will work for you. And that's the deal with these guys that are local. They'll see you walking in the garage or in the grocery store, or they'll see you at the gas station. They want to be able to look you in the face, so they're going to do you the right way. That's what locally owned and operated means. So go see those guys over there at Recommended Collision Center, because they will do you right. All right. Also, a little note: Brandon will be on the Thursday show with us because Jeffrey's going to be going out of town. So Brandon's going to be switching over to Thursday with us for this week. Either way, when we come back, we've got to finish up this talk. We're going to talk about a lot of these games that happened over the weekend. You're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Get in the game. Call or text us now on the Red 7T studio line. 850-215-6290. It's the PCB Hobby Takeover with Todd. Mondays at 5:20 on ESPN Northwest Florida.
That is a very high-end card and very rare.
Todd talks about coins, trading cards, collectibles, and the amazing stories behind them.
It was the first one that's ever come through my door.
Plus, we'll be taking your calls and questions at 850-215-6290. The PCB Hobby Takeover.
A platform for you to do your hobby.
Mondays at 5:20 on the Sports Talk Monster. ESPN Northwest Florida.
PCB Hobby, the beach's premier hobby store for sports cards, comics, coins, and trading card games. PCB Hobby carries the largest selection of boxes and packs from the latest releases of brands like Topps, Panini, Leaf, and more. Looking for a specific player or team? PCB Hobby has a wide assortment of raw and graded cards. They carry parallel rookie, game used, and autographed cards in both modern and vintage. Have a collection you want to sell? We buy, sell, and trade. PCB Hobby on Back Beach Road, just east of Florida Linen. Call 850-320-8388.
It's the end of the year and the perfect time to unwrap big savings on a brand new 2025 Kia from Bill Bird Kia. Ready for adventure? Well, drive into the holidays in an award-winning Kia SUV line like the Soul, Seltos, Sportage, Sorento, or the bold Telluride. If you want luxury and performance, slide into the sleek 2025 Kia K4 or K5 sedan, always designed to thrill. And going electric this year? Spark inspiration with the all-electric 2025 EV6 long-range fast fast-charging, and electrifying style. At Bill Bird Kia, you'll get comfort, safety, and technology all wrapped into one perfect package. And don't forget, we're the original home of the 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty. Stop by and see us at 2435 East 15th Street in Panama City or online anytime at BillBirdKiaPanamaCity.com. We'll treat you like family and give you the peace of mind you can trust. Bill Bird Kia, your local community dealer. Love your ride this holiday season. The 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty is a Bill Bird Kia warranty.
Mentorship might sound huge, but the truth is, it takes little to be big. Just showing up can spark confidence and connection in a child's life. Right now, more than 300 kids in Northwest Florida are waiting for a mentor. Be the one who makes a difference. Call 850-433-KIDS or visit BeTheBig.org to get started.
The Gator Boys are back.
Florida will cut down the nets. Winners of the national championship.
And ready to defend their national title.
The rack, layup, good and wide. Off the rim, alley-oop dunk, smashed down by Condon. Oh, yes, sir. Gets the foul line extended, rises for three. Bang, he got it to the rack. Dumps it with two hands.
On your home for Florida basketball.
Tomorrow, it's the Gators versus UConn. Tip-off at 8, right here on 104.3 ESPN, Northwest Florida.
Now, we're live and local inside the CBC Construction Studios. Some people say our opinions are toxic. We say they're just a little terminal. The Sports Blitz.
This malpractice committee has received a few complaints against you.
On 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Welcome back. You're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson here at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Don't forget, we still have about 15 minutes. You can call in. You can text in on the Red 7T's phone line, 850-215-6290. You know, talking about all of these games, we haven't really talked about the Alabama game. And really, thank God. There's a lot of people that are talking bad about the Crimson Tide. And you know what? They have a right to be.
Played a terrible game.
Because Alabama, for the last 4 games, have just not been what they needed to be. And as an Alabama fan, it hurts me to the core to really not have any confidence in this Alabama team. But it's not necessarily the players that I have the discontentment about. It's more about the offensive play calling and the way they run their plays. There were times, and if you watch the game, you would see it. There's times where the running back would already be out in the flat, and Ty Simpson was still going through his fake for the handoff for 1 to 2 seconds, and then boom, they're talking about how great the Georgia defense was. He had 4 seconds to throw the ball, but 2 seconds of his time, he was acting like he was fake handing off to somebody that wasn't even there. And so realistically, that and then the other part of it, having the wide receivers running routes, all the same pattern tree, meaning all long routes or all short routes. There's no disguising of the routes. It's like just everybody turn their back and run straight down the field. Let's don't have anybody open, and then let's just dump it off to the side and on the flats. So realistically, our running backs aren't made to be wide receivers. So that's why we're doing it. It's like we got it all mixed up. We're handing the ball off to our wide receivers, and we're throwing the ball to our running backs. It's so complicit because it's not working. Like, yeah, okay, if it's working, fine. Keep doing it. But it's not working. How many games do we have to have where they're not working? There was one time, and again, Ty Simpson, you can like him or whatever. He can put the ball on you at times, and sometimes he doesn't look very good. That's typical quarterback, really. But there were times that there would be people open and he wouldn't throw the ball. Mm-hmm. And it's very, very frustrating.
He's out of
Alabama
sync.
Fan.
And a couple of things happen at the same time that make each other worse. So you're not wrong. The play calling has been off the last couple of games. The receivers, whatever routes are running, take too long to develop. Simpson, he can hear the footsteps. He knows he's taking hits. He knows he's held onto the ball too long. Now he's rushing and he's panicking and he's missing open throws when he does that. And you get out of sync that way. The other problem they had, kind of to your point with this game, is the one running back who catches the ball pretty well out of the backfield was out, Jam Miller. So you have that's going to make it worse. The other avenue that they have outside of the deep routes that these receivers all keep running, I don't know why we don't dump a slot guy or whatever like that, is Cuevas.
Yeah.
He was out.
Yeah, he was out.
The problem was they didn't adjust the play calling to match the personnel they had. If you have those options, I don't think it's as pronounced a problem as it was when you don't have very good options. Hill's not going to catch the ball like Jam.
No.
And the backup tight end's not going to catch the ball like Cuevas.
Nope.
So now your wide receivers have nullified themselves by taking too long, and you have no option at tight end or running back. And Ty Simpson's now scared out of his mind and making mistakes.
Exactly. We're going to go to the Red 7T's phone line. We got Kevin on the line. Kevin, are you there, my friend?
I am here.
What's going on, buddy?
Well, I've got a comment like everyone in America about the CFP playoff ticket. So, a couple things up front. Not a fan of Notre Dame or Miami. Don't have a dog in the hunt. Not biased toward either one. As I understand it, the College Football Playoff Committee had 7 slots, and their goal was to pick the best 7 teams based on all the data that they had to fill those slots. And I've heard a lot, and it seems like once Miami and Notre Dame got close to each other, it was all about they played, one team won, end of story. Just if you look at the data for that, the 2 teams played on September the 8th in Miami. Data tells you that home field advantage in NCAA football is worth 2.5 to 4 points a game.
Yep.
So they played in Miami. Miami won with a field goal with 1 minute left, won by 3. And so I would argue that of all the data, if you look since September 8th, I think you can build a pretty clear argument that Notre Dame has been the better team. Miami had 2 losses to unranked teams. And so it feels weird to me that of all the data available, what you would go back and use is a game that statistically was basically a draw when you throw in the home field advantage. And so there's a whole lot of team won, end of story. And I just question whether that's really the most valuable metric to use to make the decision.
I would agree with that had Notre Dame had better wins along the way. And look, I mean, you can only play who's on your schedule. But I think that's what hurt Notre Dame more than anything. Yes, they won 10 in a row. The only team of any consequence in that 10 was USC. And so
you consider SMU and whoever else the other unrated team Miami lost to as teams of consequence.
No. Losses, I agree. But what I'm saying is I don't think Notre Dame had those quality wins that could have separated them. When you looked at all the metrics, like FPI this, strength of schedule, strength of record, everything, Miami and Notre Dame were separated by 1 almost every time. Sometimes Miami, sometimes Notre Dame. Yes, I understand the home field advantage typically is 2.5, 3 points. Now, to be fair, Miami's not what I'd call a raucous home field environment, and that's not a knock on Miami. It's just not the way it is. And yes, statistically, we may consider that a wash, but at the end of the day, if we have 2 teams that tightly measured and we don't say winning on the field has to matter in that tiebreak, I think we're really getting away from a fundamental issue of football.
Yeah, but again, if winning on the field has to matter, the one place where there was a real variation between the 2 teams is that Miami lost twice to teams that, if they are as good as people want to make them, they should have easily handled.
Sure.
So it's a matter of which statistic you want to ignore. And my only concern is I think the Miami win, it's huge to a lot of people. I think if they played that early game in Notre Dame wins by a field goal. I don't see that as a statement that Miami must clearly be better because they happen to win a September ball game at their home field by a field goal.
Yeah, and that's why it's opinion. I mean, to me, if they're that close, I have no problem with the head-to-head winner, even if it wasn't a convincing win. Although I thought Miami looked pretty good most of that game, I don't have a problem with that. Now, if Notre Dame was statistically so far ahead of Miami and maybe had 1 less loss, even though they weren't as strong, Yeah, I think you can lean Notre Dame even though there's a head-to-head win. But when they're so statistically similar, I don't have an issue with the head-to-head being the determining factor.
Yeah, it's hard for me to say they're even when Notre Dame lost to Miami and Texas A&M, and Miami lost to SMU. And I can't, for the life of me, I can't think who the other team was, but it is not anyone that strikes fear into the hearts of football fans.
But that 6-point loss to SMU was in overtime also.
Yeah.
It still was
I
a
think
loss.
Notre Dame won all their games by double digits.
Yeah.
Not as big as you would want, but
I
anyway,
can tell you, I agree with you.
My only thing is you can pick either team.
Yeah. Sure.
And I understand the rationale for both. To so many people, it seems like game was played, team won, end of story.
No.
And when you look at the data, I'm uncomfortable with that approach. It doesn't matter. Their quarterback was hurt. It doesn't matter. They wasn't. But I'm just saying,
you
have to really look at the quality of that win and whether a September 8th sneak-by victory at home is the thing you want to make the decision on December the 8th.
And we all know exactly what the deal was. It's that the ACC was behind Miami and no one was behind Notre Dame but Notre Dame. That had to be the decision.
We kept Texas out.
The ACC is making smooth moves, I have to say. They're continuing to...
Yeah, I mean, you can't not say that, because you know how this story would have went if the ACC would not have had a team in there. There would have been another suing. It would be in court. There would be all kinds of stuff.
Wouldn't
from
have been
the
a
ACC.
suit, but I think, and this should not be the committee's thing, and maybe it was, maybe it wasn't, but it's not ridiculous to think it's in the best interest of college football to have the ACC exist, and I'm not so sure they would have long term had they not gotten someone in, because yes, teams would have left at the first time. They may anyway. It may not matter. I think the thing that's hard for all of us when it comes down to Notre Dame is we have eyes. I guarantee Notre Dame's one of the last teams I would want to play based on my eye test of watching them of anybody.
Yeah, I mean, that's true. But, Kevin, we appreciate the call. I agree with you. I think there's more into it than just the eye test. I don't think it was the game in September either, buddy.
Well, we have two other games we could talk about for September.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. We appreciate it, Kevin. Thank you, buddy.
Hey, appreciate you guys having patience and taking my calls.
Yes, sir.
Thanks.
Oh, you're good. Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing. I mean, we can talk about it, but we can't. There's a flip side to both sides of the story.
Miami's wins. Miami's wins are better.
The win head-to-head has to matter at some point.
When it's that close.
And then how you won your other games or how you lost your other games will have to matter. And that's why they have a committee. That's why it's not just one person doing this. All three of us could come up with something totally different, but we all agree that they've got to have a better formula that helps us understand, because obviously everybody that has a dog in the hunt, which he said he didn't, and he was having struggle with how Miami was the clear cut and it wasn't Notre Dame. So, I mean, that's how it works.
Again, it's because I think Notre Dame looks very impressive right now, and I wouldn't want any part of them. I'm not sure I'd want to. I think I'd probably, honestly, want to play Miami instead of Notre Dame right now. But that doesn't mean I think Notre Dame should have gotten in over Miami. Clearly this year, the committee valued your best wins over your worst losses.
Or they got it wrong when they kept pushing Notre Dame up.
No, I agree with that.
And at the end, they said, oh, crud, we probably shouldn't have moved Notre Dame that high.
But even with
Hence,
Alabama.
That's why Alabama went ahead of Notre Dame.
But even with Alabama, they valued the wins more than they penalized the losses this year.
Hopefully.
No, they did.
Either way, thank you so much for listening. We appreciate it. We will be back tomorrow to discuss more of this madness.
Put Dale Murphy in the Hall of Fame.
You're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson at 104.3 ESPN, Northwest Florida.
104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida is your home for the NFL.